Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, your Stampin' Chick, here with you today for another Make It Monday, and I'm back home, and excited and happy to be home. It's been a wonderful trip to On Stage in Florida, but as many of you probably know, there's no place like home. So I'm super glad to be home, and I'm really excited to show you today's Make It Monday. As you can see here, I have some different little fobs, is what I'm going to call them. This one you probably recognize because this is one of the 3D swaps that I did for On Stage. I actually only made a few of them and gave them to some really special people. So if you got one of those, then just know that I love you so much, and I hope that you enjoy your little key fob, or your charm thing. I can't even think of what I would call it right now. So anyway, I did a video last Monday, just doing a little show and tell on this, and basically telling you how I made it and promising to do a video on how to make it, and I will, but obviously not today because I literally just got home really late last night, and this is the kind of video that I can't just record directly. I have to actually do some of the processes with an oven to do the little shrinky dinks. So you're just gonna have to hold off for just a little bit longer, and I promise I will show you probably next Monday how I made it. But to help pacify things until Monday, I am gonna show you how I made the little tassel and also the little tassels that I've got pictured here. So as you can see, I've been playing a little bit with some more shrinky dink, and if you guys haven't tried this, you really need to try it because it is so much fun. It's so much fun. Okay, so let me show you. First of all, you guys have seen me talk about the snow is glistening. This is the Snowflake Showcase series that is going on right now, only for the month of November. So the stamp set, the dies, the other stamp set, just a 1-month promotion with Stampin' Up. Don't miss out, folks, because this set is so pretty, and I absolutely love the dies too. Let's see if I can open it without there we go. So this is some of the dies that are left that I haven't pulled out, but it just cuts some beautiful images, as you can see there, and I really like it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this is one of the dies from that set, and I just want to show you in comparison. This is what it looks like shrinky dinked. And as you can see, it is considerably smaller. The thickness, once it is cooked, is so cool. I mean, it makes the neatest little embellishments. And then here's another one. Super tiny, but I'm thinking, if I cut a bunch of these and cook them, make the little shrinky dinks, I could use some glue dots and use these to adhere to cards. And so that makes a whole new avenue of embellishments that I can do for my projects. And it's just using this bundle, so that's really cool, and I love that. And then this one you might recognize if you've been around Stampin' Up for a little while. I want to say, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago. This was the Delicate Ornaments set. It was this set of thinlits right here. It was absolutely gorgeous. And this one is is that die right there. So you can see in comparison how much smaller they are. So basically with these, what I did was just cut the image out with the Big Shot, and then laid it on the tray and cooked it just like that without coloring, stamping, or anything. I just cut the image out and cooked it. So it was a super simple little project. All right. So now that you've got your little charms that you're going to use, your little embellishments, let's go ahead and talk about how to make this tassel, okay? So I've actually kind of gone tassel happy. I really enjoy them. They're super simple. This one here is just a plain tassel ready for me to put onto a project. At this point, I could tie a little piece of ribbon here, and I could tie it to a card, I could tie it to a bag, I could tie it to anything. It's ready to go. And if I wanted to, I could put a little glue dot on there and glue that, and it would be really cute. So there's that one. This snowflake was a little bit bigger, and so I opted to use a jump ring to attach it, just to make it look a little more fancy and give it a little bit of movement, because, you know, when you glue this one on, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to stay still, and it's going to be attached to the tassel. But this one can move freely, and it's really cute. And then I've just put it onto a little lobster clasp. And so at this point, you know, I can put it onto a purse or a bag. I could punch a hole in a card and attach it and let this be a little gift that a person could take off of the card, which is a super cute idea. And then I've done this one using the same keychain type clasp that I used on this. And I've just made a larger tassel and then put the bigger charm on it. And I'm really just using a few elements here. So I'm using embroidery thread. And of course, you know, you can get any color you could possibly imagine. You can get them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, any craft supply store. And then I got the jump rings and the little clips on Amazon, and they were really inexpensive. I actually got this box of jump rings, I want to say maybe $3 or $4. It was really not that expensive. And then, you know, you've got your little charm embellishment here, the shrinky dink. You can either do them plain or stamped and colored like I've done here. So you can do pretty much anything you want to. I mean, imagine any season, any occasion, Valentine's, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. You know what would be really cute with this one is the, what is it, Making Christmas Bright, and then the Making Everything Bright set that are in the holiday catalog. You know, the little Christmas bulbs, and then there are the different seasons of them for the hearts and the Easter bunny and the penguin and all that. Those will be super cute like this. And then one thing you just want to remember when you're doing the shrinky dink is that when you want to punch a hole in the top of the die cut image so that you've got this space to put your ring through, that hole is actually punched, it's 1/8 of an inch. Yes, I used 1/8 of an inch on my crocodile, but that being said, this one, of course, it was a much bigger image to start with. I used the 3/16 size, and it still shrunk down to a tiny little size. So make the hole as big as your image will allow, and know that it's going to shrink down. That's my tip for you when regard to making a charm. So you really want that little hole to be as big as it can possibly stand to be when it's regular size, because it will totally shrink down to nothing. Okay, moving right along. You're going to need your embroidery thread. You're going to need your jump rings. You're going to need your charm. you're going to need your clips, and you're going to need two different types of pliers. These are little jewelry pliers, and you can see that one is a long nose and one is not. It really doesn't matter so much which of the jewelry pliers you use. What does matter, in my opinion, is that the inside is flat and the outside is rounded. Okay, so I have this one here. You can see it's flat on the inside and it's rounded on the outside. And then same here, it's flat on the inside, rounded on the outside. So it doesn't matter that this one's longer and this one's shorter, because we could work with two short ones or two long ones. It doesn't matter. These are just the ones that I had on hand right away. Okay, so but you're going to need two of them, because when you're separating the jump ring to open it up, it's definitely beneficial to have two different ones. And actually, I'll show you how to do that right quick. I'll go ahead and take this one off. I had put this jump ring on because I was going to use it for something and I decided not to. So you're not going to be able to see this, but there's a split opening right here. And basically you're going to put one set of pliers on one side and you're going to put one set of pliers on the other side. And you're not going to pull it apart. You're just going to push one back and pull one forward so that it splits the ring open. So you're going to do it that way. The reason why you want to do it that way is because when you go to put it back, you're doing the exact same thing, just in opposite, and it closes that ring tight and it doesn't distort the ring. So remember to take one forward, one back, and then you can just pull whatever it is off and then put it back together. One forward, one back, and then you're ready. Okay? Alright, then the next thing that you're going to need is something to wrap your embroidery thread around. So, for this tassel, I used just the package of the red rhinestones, and I just wrapped the embroidery thread around this way. And whatever item you use, that length is going to be the size of your tassel. So you can see here that my tassel is the size of this package. Now if I turn it this way, I would have a much longer tassel, right? And then, of course, if I wanted to use a stamp case, I mean, that would make a really big tassel. Or for these ones, I used just this little mini post-it pad. So you can see, I mean, it just depends on the size of tassel you want to make as to what size of item you're going to use. And then I wrapped these ones 10 times, and I did it counting forward and back as one time, and then coming around 2 times, 3 times, so on. And then this one I did 16 times around this one here. So you can see it's just a little bit thicker. Because it's longer, I figured if I did it only 8 times like I did, or 10 times like I did this one, it'd be really thin. So you don't want your tassel too thin, but it's up to you how thick or thin you want it to be. So let's go ahead and do one. I want to do this one in red and green, and then I'm going to put this other snowflake on there like that. So leave those there. Let me see if I've got the rings I need here. Yep, there it is. Okay, let me put this one away before I lose it. Alright. Okay, here we go. Let's just do, you know what, let's go the length of an ink pad. So I'm going to go this way. And because I'm doing the 2 colors, this is going to be a little bit of a thicker tassel, but I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. And then I'm going to bring this one out. And I'm just lining up the bottom of it. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a pretty decent little tassel there. Alright. Okay, so now once you've got your tassel body wrapped around whatever it is that you're going to wrap it, you're going to also take a little bit of extra string and just cut, and I'm doing 2 of them because I want it to match. So this isn't an exact science, there's not an exact measurement, but just a decent amount. And what I'm thinking about is you're using this piece to tie around right there, and I don't know if you can see that, but the little tie there that holds it on, if I flip it over, you can see that there's a knot right there, and the tails are actually laid down in with the tassel. So when I'm cutting this piece, I want it to be long enough that I think I can tie it into a knot, and the tails are long enough to flow into the tassel, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so I'm going to lay that there, and then I'm going to try to worm this piece off of this stays on, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut it, because the lid leaves me this wonderful little spot to cut into. So right now I have the middle of my tassel in my finger, and the tails are just loose here, and I'm just going to check it just for a second because of the way that I wrapped them around. I want to make sure that I don't have all red and all green. So what I may do here is just kind of grab some of this and flip it over, so that way I've got it dispersed a little better. Red, green, red, green. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to take the end and just kind of twist it up. And I'm doing this because I've got to put this through this ring. And we may want the bigger one because we did a little bit more. So just going to do that, and I'm not worried about all these little tails here just yet. I do want to make sure that all of the tails go in though. So you see I've got a couple that haven't made it in yet. Oh, looks like just one. Okay. So I'm just going to push it in. Sorry, I'm sure my fingers are in the way, but you'll just have to bear with me here for just a minute and I'll show you. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay. So now that I have the jump ring over, all of the threads, I'm going to take it to the middle. And I'm just going to kind of line up, line up my tassel here so that it's in the middle, so that there's not too much tail on one side or the other. Okay? And then I'm going to turn this ring so that the little slit is on the inside. And I'm going to kind of straighten this down a little. Just work with it a tiny bit so that I'm straight and tidy here. And I'm going to pull that off because that's in the way. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to hold it like that so it's neat and tidy here. And then this is going to take maybe a second of practice, but basically I'm going to try to tie this knot one-handed. You can lay it down on the table if you want to, but I like to keep a hold of it, so I'm just holding it here, and I've got that tail, this tie piece laid over the top, over the tassel in my finger, and I'm just going to use my other hand to make it loop over like I'm tying it into a knot. Okay, and then I'm going to pull my finger out, and I'm going to cinch it down. And now at this point, I'm going to cinch it kind of tight, and then I'm going to start playing with it just a little bit to make sure that it's all lined up nice and even in here, and there's none sticking up and sticking out and all that. And I'm just pulling on the tails just a little, nice and easy, not hard, just to make sure that they're even in there. And then I'm going to tighten that up again, lay it down, and this time I'm bringing it around to the other side, and I'm going to tie it into a knot. So you see that I tied it right there, but I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to tie it into a knot on this side. So I'm working with both of the colors, so just so that it matches the tassel. And I'm just tying it into a knot. I'm cinching it down real tight, and then I'm laying the tails down with the tassel. So just like that. Get that one out of the way and that one out of the way. Alright, so now you can see there I've got the tassel. Okay, now at this point you can go ahead and clean up the edges if you want to, and I'm going to because I think it makes it look a little more finished. So I'm just going to smooth that down a little bit, and I'm going to give it a haircut. There we go. Alright, now there's our tassel. It just makes it look a little cleaner and more tidy, and I really like that, so that's what we're doing. Okay, and then I need to get another jump ring because I used my big one on that. So there we go. Alright, and I'm not using that little one, so I'm going to put it away. These really are handy to have. I mean, you can make a tassel for just about anything. And I'm finding I really like them. They're kind of popular right now. I've seen a lot of tassels and things. And I really enjoy them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make this into a little keychain or purse fob or whatever. I haven't decided yet. So put that there. And then you know what? I remember why I needed to keep that ring out. But I'm going to get the little bit smaller one. So I guess I didn't want to keep that one out after all. But I'm going to attach the snowflake right there. And then look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay. So let me get this. And of course the smaller the ring, the more it is to work with. That's all you can say. Alright. But you still open them up the same way. So there's that. Okay. So now this snowflake is just big enough that I can slip that jump ring through there. And I'm thankful for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my fingers and work this jump ring. I tell you what. It's just as well to put the jump ring through there first. And these longer ones, they kind of help with that just a little bit. You guys can laugh at me because I'm laughing at me. These little things are squirrely. Alright. So let me get this on here. And I'm working it into that little tail. I'm just tucking it, trying to get it tucked anyways. Into that knot. So I'm just trying to go up and underneath it and back up through, and there we go, we got it. Might take you a little minute to do that. That's okay. And then come on, friend. Of course, since I'm on video, it's not going to be so easy for me. When I was making the little samples earlier, it didn't mind me at all. It was just fine. Okay. Woo! And we've got a lot of tassel here, so we could probably do with a bigger jump ring, but I don't want to. So I'm going to fuss with it. And there we go. Alright. Now, once you've got your little jump ring through there, and you've got your knot tied and all that good stuff, you're going to want to turn that jump ring so that the little split part is behind. So that just makes it look neater and tidier. So I'm just going to stick these pliers in here, and I'm just giving it a little twist. So there we go. And then once you get it all done, you're just going to cinch it all back down again. Give it just a little gentle tug. And here we go. And there you are. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I kind of mumbled through it just a little bit, but you get the idea. So you can use any embroidery thread that you want to, and get you some jump rings and little clips, and try making some stuff out of the shrinky dink plastic, because it is so much fun. I mean, I am in love with these things. I really am. So I'm thinking of all kinds of stuff I can do with them now. There are some white papers and some clear papers though, so you want to keep that in mind. I found mine at Hobby Lobby, and I had seen a post, it might have been on one of the demonstrator pages on Facebook, and someone had done a shrinky dink project with the clear ones versus the white ones, and when I went to get mine, I noticed that Hobby Lobby had both the white sheets and the clear sheets. So just make sure that whatever the project is that you're wanting to do, that you're getting the right shrinky dink plastic for it. So if you're wanting it to be clear, that's fabulous, and they will make some really cute projects. But if you're wanting to do like snowflakes and you're wanting them white, make sure that you get white sheets, because clear sheets are not going to shrink down into white pieces. So just keep that in mind. Alright guys, I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope that you try making your own tassels, because tassels are in and they are fabulous and everyone loves them. And if you do decide to make some tassels of your own, please go over to my Facebook page and put a picture on the wall and let me see it. I'd love to see you guys' projects, and send me a message or leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of this project, and if you tried it yourself. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to hear from you, and until next time, see you later. Bye bye.